Hello, dear students. Hope you are doing well. Today it's our lecture number 8, and we are going to learn about conditional expressions in Python. This is an important topic almost in any language, whether it is JavaScript, whether it is Python or Java, you can find conditional expressions. So, this makes it an important topic. Now, first of all, let me introduce you what conditional expressions are. Conditional expressions are basically used for decision making in Python. So far, the programs we have made in Python, all the code that I had written yet, it was getting executed. Now, if I want a portion of code to be executed only when it meets a specific condition, then we use conditional expressions there. in I, in Python programming, we are able to execute instructions on a conditions being met. It's not necessary that all the instructions that I have written, they will be executed. I can also write conditions when to execute which code, and that thing is achieved in Python using conditional expressions. So first of all, let me tell you the basic syntax. The basic syntax is, first we use the keyword if and then write the condition, and after we have elif. If the first condition is not satisfied, then what will be the second condition, and else if no condition is fulfilled. You will understand this better using VS Code. I will make programs so that you can better understand this. So first of all, let us go to our VS Code, and I will create a new file. I will name it as conditional.py. Here I will simply write a program. A is equal to 10, B is equal to 20. I will write sum is equal to A plus B. Print, I will write sum of two numbers is equal to sum. You all know this. If I run this program, you can check, I will get the answer 30 here. But what I want to tell you that if I want to execute this code on a particular condition, sorry, I forgot to type comma here, is equal to comma. I will run this program again. Sum of two numbers is equal to 30. You can see the four instructions. All these four instructions got executed without checking any condition. Now suppose if I want to check if A is a positive number, then only I will add. For that, I will use the conditional expression. And what is that? It is if. I will show you first the syntax of if. I will write, if is written like this. I will write the word if keyword, and then we start these brackets. Here we write our condition, and after that we have semicolon here, and here we write what we write the code that we want to execute when the condition is fulfilled. Let me show you this with an example. I will write here, if A is greater than 50, then print A is greater than 50. And then after that we use here else keyword. If the condition is not satisfied, then A is less than 50. Now if I run this program, you can see here sum of two numbers is equal to 30. A is less than 50. Now I will tell you here what I have to teach you, that these four instructions got executed as per the sequence, but the code at line number 6 and line number 8, it is conditional. This code will only be executed. This line print a is greater than 50. It will only be executed when a satisfies a particular condition. What is the condition? That a should be greater than 50. Else it will print a is less than 50. Now if I write here a is equal to 55, if I run this program, you can check a is greater than 50. So this code executed only when a particular condition was met, and this code executed when no condition was met here. So this was about the syntax of our if-else expression. This will be more clear to you when I will make programs on various topics that you can understand. Now suppose I want a should be equal to 50. A is equal to 50. I will write a is equal to 50. Now if I write here a is equal to 50, now here it checks, is a equal to 50? Yes, the value in a is 50. 50 is equal to 50, then a is equal to 50. It will print the line a is equal to 50. Now if I write like this, 60, since a is not a, what is the value in a? It's 60. 60 is equal to 50? No, so the condition will not run. So this was about the if-else syntax that I have told you here. Now what if I want to check another condition? If I want to check another condition, if a is equal to 50, I will write a is equal to 50. Now suppose if I want to say if a is greater than 50, if a is greater than 50, I want to print that a is greater than 50. Here I will use another keyword here, that is elif. Elif means else if. If the first condition is not satisfied, then it checks the second condition here. What will it check? It will check, is a greater than 50? You should remember the syntax here. Elif, then bracket start, a is greater than 50, then we use the colon. And you can't write directly like this. If I write like this, it will throw an error. So you should remember, once you come on the next line, you should use a tab so that it aligns with the sequence. I will write a is greater than 50. So what I have done here, I have checked two conditions here. Is a equal to 50, then print a is equal to 50. If a is greater than 50, then print a is greater than 50. And if a is less than 50, then it will automatically go in the else condition. Now if I execute this program, it will say a is greater than 50. Why this statement was not executed? Because the value in a is 60. 60 is not equal to 50. So this code was not executed, only this line of code was executed. Now if I write here 30, I will run this program. You can check a is less than 50. Since the value in a, what is the value in a? It's 30. 30 is equal to 50? No. Is a, what is the value in a? 30. 30 is greater than 50? No. So this condition is also not satisfied, and it automatically, if no condition is satisfied, then it goes in the else block. So this was about the syntax of our if statement. Now we will more focus on programs. Now let me go to the first program. Write a program to print yes when the number entered by the user is greater than or equal to 25. So I have to write here an if condition. I have to take a number from the user first, and then I have to write an if condition that if the number entered by the user is greater than or equal to 25, then I will print yes, otherwise I will print no. So what I will do here, I will write num, I will write input enter the number, enter the number. So as you know that I have to typecast this into integer so that I can get integer value. I will write now the condition here. If number is greater than what? If number is greater than or equal to 25. Remember that I am using here relational operators. Greater than, equal to, less than, equal to, that I have already told you in my previous lectures where we studied about the various types of operators. So if number is greater than or equal to 25, then I will print yes. Else, you should remember the syntax. Else print no. So this was my first program. If I run my program, enter the number. If I write 58, then it will say yes. If I write here 21, it will say no. Even if I write here 25, it will give me the answer. What is the issue here? Sorry, I gave it a wrong number. 25. The answer is yes. Now if I remove this is equal to and I will run this program, I will type 25. When why is this giving an issue? 25. I will run this program. I have done here. If number is greater than, it's correct. Enter the number. I will write 25. It will say no. Why? Because the value in num is 25. Is 25 greater than 25? No. So that's why it goes in else block. If I write here number is greater than or equal to 25, I will run this. You can check here the number. If I write 25 again, it gives me the answer. It gives me the correct answer. If you remember that while we were discussing about the operators, we had these relational operators. It was greater than, equal to, less than, equal to, and it we also studied about the logical operators, that was and, or, and, not. So now moving on to our next program. Write a program to find the greatest of 4 numbers entered by the user. We have to find, I will write this as program 1. And this is program 1. Now I will write here program 2. So what I have to do, I have to take 4 numbers from the user. Write a program to find the greatest of 4 numbers entered by the user. So what I will do, I will firstly take number 1 is equal to, I will first typecast it here so that I don't have to do it later. Input, enter the number. Similarly, I will write here Control C, Control V, Control V, and Control V. I will name this as num2. I will name this as num3. I will name this as num4. Once I have taken these 4 numbers, I will check them. Firstly, I will do a comparison between 1 and 2. I will see which one among them is the greatest. Similarly, I will check among 3 and 4 which one among them is the greatest, and then I will compare those two results and I will get the answer. So I will write here if num1 is greater than num2, then what you will do, you will write result is equal to number 1, and else If that is not the case, the result is equal to number 2. So this was about finding the greatest among the two numbers. Similarly, I will do this for number 3 and number 4. I will go here. I will write if number 3 is greater than number 3 is greater than number 4. If number 3 is greater than number 4, then I will write result. I will name this as result 1. I will name this as result 2, and this is result. Here I will name this as result 1. This is result 2. This is result 2. I will name this here. If number 3 is greater than number 4, then result is equal to number 3, else result is equal to number 4. Now I will compare these two results. If result 1 is greater than result 1 is greater than result 2, what you will do? If result 1 is greater than result 2, then I will write result is equal to result 1, else I will do colon here, result is equal to result 2. So this was about the if else. See, this is condition number 1, this is condition number 2, and this is condition number 3. I will then print the result. I will print, I will use the F string. I will write result is the greater number. So if I execute my program, I will write here 58, I will write 99, I will write 41, I will write 101. You can see 101 is the greatest number. So first of all, what it does, it firstly compares 58 and 99. Which among them is the greatest? 99. So obviously result 1 will store 99. Second, it compares 41 and 101. Which one among them is greatest? 101 obviously. So in result 2, what will be stored? 101. Then it compares result 1. In result 1 we have 99. In result 2 we have 101. It compares both of them. And if result 1 is greater than result 2, no, because in result 1 we have 99 and in result 2 we have 101. So what it stores here? Result is equal to result 2. So 101 is stored here. If I run this program once again, I will say 87, I will say 5, I will say 15, I will say 20. What will be the answer? 87 is the greater number. So this was a program to find the greatest of 4 numbers entered by the user. Similarly, before moving on to our program number 3, I will tell you about the use of is operator, is and in operator. Let me show you this. If I write here a is equal to true, suppose. Now if I want to check if a is true or not, then if I write here if a, then I will use the word keyword is. This is also an operator. If a is true, then print what? A is true. Else what you will do? Print a is false. Now if I run my program, since the value in a is true, the condition evaluates to true, the answer comes a is true. Now if I set its value to, I will say none. If I run my program, a is false because a doesn't contain the value true. Similarly, if I write here if a is false, since this is a boolean value, you can check here a is false because a is not true. So this was about the is operator. Now moving on to our next program. What is our next program? Write a program to find whether a given number is even or odd. Firstly, before doing this, you should remember that we have to first build a logic. How we can say a number is even or odd? We say a number is even when it is divisible by 2, and a number is odd when it is not divisible by 2. You remember the modulus operator which gives us the remainder? If you remember that, the modulus operator gives us the remainder. If the remainder comes out to 0, that means if I divide a number by 2 and the remainder comes 0, then the number is even, else the number is odd. We'll write here program 3. So what is our program? To find whether a number is even or odd. I will first take the number as input from the user. I will write here input, enter the number. Once a user enters the number, I will check if num mod of 2. What does it do? It calculates the remainder. If num mod of 2 is equal to 0, that means the number, if the number is divisible by 0, divisible by 2, then what you have to write? Number is even. I will write here number is even. Else, what you will do? Else print, you will print here the number is odd. So if I run this program, you can check, enter the number. I will enter 99. Since the remainder doesn't come 0, so the number is odd. If I write here 100, is it divisible by 2? Yes. The remainder will come to 0 and the number is even. So this was about our program number 3rd. Because firstly you have to remember that the more you practice on the programs, the more you will learn. Otherwise, just remembering the syntax won't help you unless and until you do the practicals. So let us move to our next program. What is the program? Write a program to find out whether a student has passed or failed if it requires a total of 50% and at least 40% in each subject to pass. So what here it says that we have to write a program that tells us whether a student has passed or failed. For pass percentage, he should have a total of 50%, and if he has 4 subjects, then at least in each of the subject he should have secured at least 40% marks. So let us do this. I will take this here, Control C. I will write this name as program 4. Control V, enter the marks of subject 1. I will name this as sub 1. I will copy this. See, since I have to take from user 4 values, so I will write here like this. So I will use the Alt key. I have pressed the Alt key. I will write here 2. Similarly here I will write here 3, and here sorry, 4, and here 4 I will print. Now I have taken the marks. What I have to check first, if the marks entered by the student are less than 40%, then the student is fail. So I will write here, if subject 1 is less than 40, I will use the OR operator here. What does OR do? If any of the condition is fulfilled, then it will execute the code. If if the student has scored in subject 1 marks less than 40, or in subject 2 marks less than 40, or in subject 3 he has scored marks less than 40, or in subject 4 he has scored marks less than 40, then I will write here, student has failed because the subject percentage is less than 40. Now we also have another condition. We have to calculate the total marks, and the total marks should be greater than what? Greater than 55. So I will use else if. I will first check this condition, and then I will check else if subject 1 plus subject 2 plus subject 3 plus subject 4 divided by 4 is less than 55. If it is less than 55, then what you will do, I will print total percentage is less than 55. Now if both the conditions are not fulfilled, then I will say print the student has passed the examination. Now see here, what I will do here, what I have done here. If the marks are less than 40, the marks in each subject are less than 40, then what it will do, it will check first this condition. If this condition is not satisfied, then it will check this condition. If this is not also not satisfied, then it will check this condition. So I will run this program. When I will run this program, the subject 1, in subject 1, if I write here 50, in subject 2 I will write 44, in subject 3 I will write 35, and in subject 4 I will write 58. See, the student fails because the subject percentage is less than 40. Now if I run this program once again, if I give it 41, 42, 43 and 44, the student has passed the examination. Now if I run this program again, and I will give the marks 40, 40, 40 and 40, you will see the student has also passed the examination, because the minimum percentage required is 55. I will check this first. I think there is something. I will run this program once again. If it is 40, 40, 40 and 40, total percentage is less than 55. So why here I got this error? The problem here is that the parenthesis has the highest preference. When I removed the when I had not kept the parenthesis here, it first divided subject 4 by 4, then it calculated the these addition of these three subjects. What I have done now, I have put the parenthesis because parenthesis has the most highest preference. So it first calculates the sum of these four subjects, it divides it by 2, and then checks if it is less than 55. So this was about our program number 4. So here you have seen how we have used the OR operator. So this was our program number 4. Now moving on to our program number, I can also show you the use of AND operator. If I have A is equal to 3, B is equal to 2, and C is equal to 1, I will write if A, like this, if A is greater than B and A is greater than C, print A is greater. Else, this is known as else if, as I have told you. If B is greater than A and B is greater than C, print B is greater. Else what you will write? Else print C is greater. Now here I have used the AND operator. What does AND operator do? It checks both the conditions. In OR you have seen here that if either of the condition is fulfilled, the code written here, it will get executed. This print statement will only be executed when A is greater than B and A is greater than C. Now if I run this program, you can see A is greater. Now if I keep the value of 10, you can check here. Now C is greater. If I update the value of B to 20, you can check the value B is greater. So this was all about the AND operator. Because I had only used OR operator in my program, I want to show you the use of AND operator also in conditions. Now our next program is write a program to find whether a given username contains less than 8 characters or not. We have to check, user will input a name, and you have to check whether the length of the character is less than 8 or not. I will say name is equal to input, enter the name. I will use here length of name is equal to length is equal to, I will first print the length here, length is equal to comma length. I will run this program. You can check, enter the name. I will say Adil. The length is 4. I will use colon here, and I will use /n so that the name comes under next line. Now here I have to check if the length is less than 8. I will give a message to user. I will write here if length is less than 8, print username is less than 8. Else what you will say? Else print username is greater than 8. Now if I write here, I will write enter the name, I will write here Python. The length comes 6, so username is less than 8. Now if I run this program once again, enter the name, I will say welcome. User name, the it contains only 7. Now if I write here welcome to my home, you can check here the length here is 15 and username is greater than 8. So we can use the if conditions with strings also. Write a program which finds out whether a given name is present in a list or not. We have studied about the lists, you remember that. Let us create a list first. I will create names is equal to, I will create a list here. I will create Python, I will create Java, I will create here C++, I will create here C. So I have to check, a user will enter the name, I will take that in a input, enter the name /n, so that it comes on the next line. I will check if a in names, I will print name exists in the list, else I will write here print name is not present in the list. Now if I run my program, enter the name, I will type here C, name exists in the list. If I write here Python, name exists in the list. Now if I write here PHP, name is not present in the list. So this was our program that was checking whether a given name is present in a list or not. Now this is an assignment for you. Write a program to calculate the grade of a student from his marks from the following scheme. You will enter the total marks of a student. If the marks lies between 90 to 100, then you will type distinction. If it lies in the range 80 to 90, then it will be A plus. And similarly, if it lies in 70 to 80 range, 60 to 70 range, 50 to 60, accordingly you will give him the appropriate grades. So you have to use if and else if later, that is known as if else later, that we have also used it here. So this is an assignment for you. Just like we have used the else if later here, similarly you have to use this also to solve this problem. Hope you understood the topic very well. Remember, this is an important topic. You can see in almost any programming language. I told you that whether it is Java, whether it is C, whether it is C++, whether it is JavaScript, and also in Python, these conditional statements are used everywhere. So you should practice this more and more, make programs on it, try to solve problems on it, so that you can get a better understanding of it. So this was all about the conditional expressions. Now we have another topic that I will discuss in lecture number 9, and that's about the loops. We will study the loops, the various types of loops that we have. While loop, we have for loop in Python. We will discuss about them in detail, and also I will focus more and more on programs, because you can learn only when you will make the programs. Otherwise it's of no use of only watching the videos. So thank you.